Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, folks? Real quick before we jump in, there is something I need to tell y'all about that's kind of cool, and this is a cool local recognition for the podcast. But the Tipton County Farm Bureau Women in Ag Committee has selected Talk Dirt to Me and Bobby Lee, as the top 3 nominee for the Tipton County Agriculture's Finest Awards. They're doing a lot of awesome stuff over there. Like I said, the Tipton County Farm Bureau Women in Ag. It's really a neat thing, and it's a cool place for the women to really shine in agriculture and put emphasis on that and show some of the things that they're doing. And they're just trying to raise a lot of awareness around agriculture. And so we wanted to give them a shout out and let them know y'all are doing a great job, and we appreciate what you're doing. And we're pumped up to be in the top 3 on some of the nominees on there. So wanted to let everyone know, any of our local people that are listening, February 16th, 6 o'clock at the Munford High School Farm Fresh Center is where the actual event is going to be. And I know we plan to be there. I don't know if both of us will get to be there. One of us is planning to be there for sure, but we want to encourage you guys, anybody that's local that's listening, hey, let's go look into going to this. I don't know, I'm looking here. There are additional tickets. It looks like $40 for a ticket. All the tickets and the proceeds that go towards benefiting Farm Day of 2026. It does say seating is limited, so you don't need to mess around. You need to go in there and check it out. I'm going to put a link in the description for you guys to go and vote. Anybody that's local, you're going to go through there. There's quite a few things you can vote for. You will see some familiar names in there if you're local. If you are not local and you're listening and you go on there to vote, you're going to see a lot of names that you've never heard of before. But you will see Talk Dirt to Me in there. And we would greatly appreciate your vote. Guys, we're honored to be included in this. We appreciate it. So we'd love for you to give us a little love in the voting. Again, I'll put the link in the description below. And you might also see the Little Blue Farm Store, which is my wife and I's venture. Love for you to give us a little love there as well. But guys, just go and show them some love on what they're doing. And let's get into the episode. So what's up, everybody? We just did something funny.
The first time in 224 episodes we've done this.
Yeah, we just did probably, 5 minutes of an episode without hitting record here. In our defense, we got a lot of shit going on right now. We're kind of beefing up the technology of the studio. I got 2 new cameras over here. So again, as we said to our non-existent episode we were just doing before this one, this YouTube video might be pretty awesome. We got some stuff that's going to simplify all of this and make it really easy on us, but we don't have it set up yet. So we had to push. I literally hit record, and then I just forgot to hit record right here.
Yeah. We don't show up like when we get new technology, like the day or two before, and like do a test run. we just roll with it. And so, yeah, but you always listen to podcasts where they're like, oh man, we actually forgot to hit record, or whatever. And I'm always like, man, we've never done that. Well, now we have, but like you said, we were only like 5 minutes in.
Dude, I did it on my old show. Do you remember Joe Griffin?
Yeah.
All right. I had him on my old show, and we did a full hour and 20 minutes. And well, I was recording. But it's even what's painful is all of a sudden the power went out in the studio. And then when the power came back on, I was like, please, God, let that have saved in this. The board had erased it. So we had literally done almost a complete episode. We were about to finish up, and it erased the whole episode.
Oh, gosh.
And it was remote. So, I didn't even have, video I could have tried to save. And so I literally called Joe right back, and I was like, dude, I hate to tell you this, but I was like, our whole episode is gone. And he was like, oh shit, are you serious? I'm like, Yep. So we literally started over and did the whole episode again.
And so that's tough because you can't have that same conversation over again with the same. Yeah.
You just ain't gonna have the same magic in there.
Yeah, no. Because you've all already, that's the great thing about we have zero script. I mean, every now and then, when there's a key topic we need to talk about, we got a few stats or facts, written down, but we don't, because that's what makes it a genuine conversation. We're just having a conversation with each other right here.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't imagine, man. Or I guess I can imagine because I did it and it sucked. But
we weren't into the meat and potatoes of anything.
No.
We were actually just talking about how my wife literally has a phone permanently attached to the side of her face.
Marcy gets mad at me because she's like, "You're on the phone so much." Now I do a lot of the calling and talking that I do. Generally, a lot of it revolves around this. It's kind of like, outreach for the show, and kind of things in the ag sector. But, today I was on the phone. I got home today and I told my wife, I said, if I got paid by the minute to be on the phone, I said, today we'd have made a shit ton of money. Cause I was on the phone. I bet you I was on the phone for 5 hours today.
Damn.
I mean, man, I got home.
Yeah. I doubt you have my wife beat, but yeah.
Yeah. Now me and your wife, I've run into her. Anytime I run into her, then it's like a dangerous scenario because I'm a talker and she's a talker. At the Gin show, 2 years ago, I remember I saw her in passing. We stopped. Shit, I stood there and talked to her for 30 minutes. It's and I see her, It
was somebody you see all the time. But
yeah.
Well, that's what we were talking. For our outside of our local area, our kids are out of school again tomorrow, which will be Friday when this episode drops. So that'll be 2 full weeks of school they have missed.
Yep.
But both our sons played basketball tonight. The church league basketball was back on. And that's what, when I was home for lunch, I was needing to kind of strategize with my wife because that kind of came out of left field. When I left home this morning, I assumed that they won't play basketball tonight. They're not going to school today. I was already pretty sure they probably weren't going to go to school tomorrow. That wasn't totally official at that point. So the whole time I was home for lunch for 45 minutes, she was on the phone. Barely got a little bit of communication with her via some hand signals. And,
did you at least get some action in? She just stayed on the phone?
Well, hell no, because the kids are there too.
Oh, man,
she's on the phone, the kids are there. And then what my communication was with her at lunch was that on the way to the basketball game, I was like, hey, swing by the office, pick me up, we'll all ride together. So I was like, because normally if we're going from our house, we kind of go the back roads. I was like, some of the back roads are still a little bit sketchy. That's why they're not going to school again tomorrow. I was like, so yeah, you need to come that way anyway. So just come, we'll all ride together, whatever. Then when she actually shows up to pick me up from the office, her and the kids, she's on the phone. She's on the phone the entire way, the 15-minute drive to the basketball gym. Well, then me and my son, because he's the one playing, we go on in. She and my daughter stay in the car because she's still on the phone. So the first time I've actually had a chance to speak to my wife, even though I've seen her twice since this morning, was when she actually walks in to sit down on the bleachers for the game.
There you go.
But yeah.
So I actually
had a talker.
I had more conversation with her than you did for the earlier part of the day.
Okay. So you were one of the people on the phone with her.
No, I saw her at the game, but you had not made it to the bleachers yet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
We were walking by and we stood there talking to her for probably about 10 minutes. And then,
so at that point in time, you had talked to her more today than I had. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm a talker, man. I just, I tell people I'm not good at many things, but I'm pretty good at talking.
Well, and I'd even text you because you were like, we'll record at 9. I was like, yeah, because our game was after y'all, so we had to eat, whatever. Well, then we're paying, we're done eating. It's 8:20. And I've got a 15-minute drive. So I was like, hey, I can meet you at 8:45.
Nope.
Well, it was about 10 minutes later, I text you back. It's like, never mind, it'll be 9.
Yeah.
Kaylin is talking to people as we're trying to leave the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I got here right at 9.
Oh, and Marcy gets put out with me. It drives her nuts, but yeah, what are you going to do?
And those were friends of ours we ran into. Actually, I'm probably better friends with them than she is. But, with me, I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all enjoy your dinner. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all be careful going home. No, she's over there pull up a seat and let's have a conversation.
Well, we want you guys to have a conversation with us, and we want you to comment below. We want you to do a couple things. First, we want you to hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment below on this episode. If you're watching this on YouTube and we have done the multiple camera angles, let us know what you think about it. We're going to be kind of tweaking it in over the next few episodes and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
we'll have it certainly dialed in over these next few.
Yeah. Yep. So let us know what you think about it. Also, if you got any questions for us, comment those below. And we want you guys to leave us 5-star ratings. Spotify and Apple still crushing it. I know we've gained a couple more since last episode. Nothing is cooler than logging in there and seeing more. I do want to read this. Somebody had sent me a really cool message about the podcast. It's a listener we got. His name's Kyle. I won't embarrass you any more than that, Kyle. But I appreciate these kind of messages. He said, great episode. Talking about our last one. He said, I literally laughed out loud a few times. You guys being unapologetically politically incorrect make this whole podcast. Most ag podcasts are too vanilla and structured. I love the conversations and the chaos. And I appreciate all that. Like that's like the best messages.
Yeah. And I mean, whether we did it by accident or on purpose, I mean, again, we show up, we're having a drink or two, so we're loosened up. We're just talking. I mean, it's we want it to be, and obviously sometimes we make sure we don't mention people's names or something if we don't have permission or whatever. But we're having a conversation just like the two of us were here, and there wasn't a microphone in front of us, and we weren't hitting record. And I feel like that's what a lot of people want.
Yeah. Oh, I do too, man. I think people are kind of tired of the squeaky clean. And, the thing about it, like our show's not for everybody, and we're okay with that. Like, and I actually wanted to highlight, well, first you shout out who we need to talk about, and then I'll, shout out a couple things.
Well, our good friends at agzaga.com, they're always running all kinds of specials. They are really, we say this all the time, really about to get ramped up for baling season. Even as we've got still snow and ice all over the place. I was actually driving by one of my hay fields today, and I'm like, the south facing slopes, I can see grass again. A lot of the other ground you can't, but it really will be here before we know it. The bell nut wrap is always going to be one of their big items, but it doesn't matter what you buy from them. Check it out. Logan threw out there last week about the heater for the chicken house.
Yep.
By golly, they had it. Use the discount code TALKDIRT20. It's $20 off, $50 minimum order, and free shipping. Agzaga.com. They are your online ag retailer.
That's right. So I do want to give a shout out to our podcast. And this is, Bobby Lee did something today, and it made me think about this. Our podcast, one thing about it, guys, you can mark our words right here. If we have been anything, but I feel like if nothing else, we have like always stuck to our guns and kind of been just genuine on this show.
Yeah.
And there was a contrast I saw today, and this is not picking on anybody. I'm not picking on, I guess I am picking on one company, but I'm not picking on any people.
I wasn't even sure what I did, but yeah. Okay, I know what I did. I know what I did.
Yes. Well, so I don't know if you looked through the comments much, but so to tell y'all what happened.
I really hadn't.
Well, it was, so John Deere put up this post on Instagram, and it was like John Deere snowmobiles. And it said, and on the picture, if we get 50 million likes, then we'll bring these back.
Because apparently they used to make snowmobiles.
Yeah, I guess so. And they were like some, retro looking John Deere snowmobiles. And Bobby Lee, at one, I think he had the top comment on there as far as likes. And you said, will we have the right to repair them?
Yeah, something along those lines. I kept it real simple.
Yeah, and it had like, when I saw it, it had well over 2,000 likes. And I'm like, boom, like, man, this is just like, did you see, I commented from our Talk Dirt to Me page. Did you see what I put on there? Under yours?
Oh, yeah. The fatality.
Fatality. Did you ever play Mortal Kombat as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is one I definitely played.
Well, I put up the fatality and on there. But it got a ton of likes, but I got kind of tickled because there was a ton of, in the comments, there's a bunch of ag influencers commenting on there.
Yeah. And a lot of them I really respect, they were, just
very pro like
just giving the generic, like, hey, we'll help drive the algorithm for you. Give a generic comment. But yeah, my exact one was, will we be allowed to repair them?
Yeah.
Because it's the whole right to repair thing with John Deere that's been very controversial. They're catching a ton of heat over. Did Trump even speak about that? Did we talk about that last week?
Vaden is talking about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stephen Vaden, Deputy Secretary of Ag. Yeah.
Yeah. He's talking about it because that was one of the things he raised the alarm on, that. And then the fertilizer, the price fixing.
That's right. I knew we had mentioned that. There you go.
But it tickled me because I was like, man, this is who Talk Dirt to me is.
Which I knew I was kind of being an asshole.
But it's okay because John Deere has been an asshole.
Oh yeah, right. And like I have a John Deere baler. Like my wife went out, she's like, you don't even have anything John Deere. And I'm like, well, still, it was the kind of point that, the whole right to repair thing. Like,
well, yeah, it's like you got a baler. Well, it's like, hell, I got a John Deere sitting right out here. I got the John Deere at the house. That's a majority of what I run is John Deere. And, we talked about before. I mean, they're one of the worst offenders for what I feel like is kind of crushing the farmers on price and all that. And so it just tripped me out. I was in here actually working on stuff, putting these chairs and stuff together. And when I stopped and I read that, and I was like, man. And then I looked through, and like I said, I like a lot of the people that are commenting. I think they're good folks.
Oh yeah,
but they're
probably equally as pissed off about the right to repair stuff. But
yeah, and I mean, they're financially benefiting from not being abrasive to John Deere.
Well, yeah, because again, I know some of them have had, at least at some point in the past,
sponsorships.
Yes, some deals with Deere.
Yeah,
and in many ways, I love John Deere. Like, I mean, we don't hate John Deere, but
we hate what
sore subject.
Yeah, I'm honestly frustrated at what they've become. Like I was always a diehard John Deere guy. And I'm frustrated with how they become. I said it when we were in Anaheim. I said a lot of these companies, they've forgotten about the guys that they actually sell to, a lot of them. And, one of the things with our show, realistically, the odds of us ever signing a deal with John Deere is really low. And not because the show ain't growing. The show's grown to where we could probably draw attention for some of these guys. We probably are drawing attention to some of these guys. And they see the shit we say, and they're like, man, piss on these bastards. And
there might be a hit out on us next week when we get to Louisville.
There might be. But I'm okay with that. Like, I would rather us stay true to who we are.
Well, yeah, you kind of got to decide. Do you want to sterilize things a little bit to potentially, get some, business deals in place, but then that hurts what you are.
Yep.
If you are, kind of like us, where we're very unfiltered, talk about like nothing's off limits. Like, we'll talk about dang near anything. And so, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. And that's what I was like, man, if I had to pick the two lanes, I want to be in the lane we're in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
keeping it real.
Yep. The other thing before we get into some of these topics, I have been getting so tickled about Billie Eilish. Have you seen what she did?
I did, which I had no idea who she was. Like,
I've never listened to her music. Well, I think I've heard one song of hers.
The only time I've ever even heard her referenced is like, I assume it's not her. It's like a rap song, but it's like one of those songs that's always on like videos. And so
I think it says something, doesn't say like I'm Billie Eilish or
something like that. I'm like, well, who the hell is that? Like, but she's been catching a ton of flack because she's, what'd she say? Nobody is illegal on stolen ground.
Yeah.
And then people pointed out, well, she has like a $15 million mansion in Malibu that formerly
was it the Tongva tribe or something?
Some Native American tribe. No disrespect to them.
No, I think it's Tongva.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but it's like, well, hell, Billy, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
like let's invite them in. Let them have your. Which that whole argument is so damn stupid because, well, how did the land ever belong to them? Because the land doesn't belong to anybody.
Yeah,
and then.
So then who stole the land?
What, did they run some other tribe off of that land?
Yeah.
Most likely they probably did. Probably happened dozens of times before,
Yeah. Well,
we got to current times when and there's no guarantee that we won't get run off this land at some point by
Oh,
some
yeah.
invading
Yeah.
army.
I mean, yeah. You know, what chaps my ass, there's a couple things. So I looked up.
They're just virtue signaling. They don't give a shit about any of that.
But I did get tickled. There was some news reporter that went to her house. Like he went to her.
Oh, see, I have not been that plugged in. I didn't realize.
Oh, dude, I went down the rabbit hole because I was like, I'm gonna bitch about this bitch tonight. And this dude went to her house. Naturally, she's got like a 10-foot tall gate all the way around her compound.
Of course, she's got her border.
Oh yeah, she's got
her border secured.
It is, and that's what he's like. Billy, he goes up. She's got like the little thing where you can push the button and be like, hey, this is so and so, and he's like, Billy, hey, this is so and so. He's like, hey. I know you said that there's nobody illegal on stolen ground. So like, he's like, hey, could you open the gates? We just want to come in. And he's like, Billy. And she like, won't, nobody ever answers. And he's just like, Billy, come on. We're not illegal out here. It's stolen land. And now the tribe has actually reached out and it's like, yeah, where her mansion was our tribe ground. Like this was tribal ground. And so they're like reaching out. But what chaps my ass, how old do you think this chick is?
She's interesting looking. Like again, I couldn't have ever picked her out of a lineup until the last 3 or 4 days. 25.
You're almost dead on. She's 24 years old.
Yeah.
24, and she's worth like $53 million.
Yeah.
So she's super wealthy.
She's interesting looking. Like,
she is.
Like it's almost like she goes out of her way to not look attractive.
Well, she's got huge cans. Like you would never know it. And she does everything she can to not show.
Yeah, I was about to say the 3 or 4 like images you keep seeing of her. She wears like super baggy clothing.
She dresses hideous.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's the total opposite of what you would figure for like an entertainer. Like normally they're showing it all off, especially if they're even remotely attractive.
Yeah.
But you kind of look at her, you're like, I'm not sure that she couldn't be attractive, but she certainly does not try to be attractive.
Now,
which, I mean, I guess respect to her for that.
She looks like she should be in the band Insane Clown Posse. Like I could see her being a juggalo.
Yeah, or like she's like from the Addams Family or something like.
Yeah, she's kind of got that weird gothic kind of.
Yeah, goth. That's the word. Yeah, like the straight black hair, like very. Yeah, I don't know.
But she's well, now I got no service right here. She's actually like.
She's just a pop singer, I guess.
I guess that's what you'd call her stuff. But like I said, what frustrates me though is you got a person. This is what frustrates me with all the celebrities. I've heard 2 stories today that have kind of chapped my buns. Billy doing all that, and like you said, man, she's virtue signaling. She's 24 years old. She don't know a damn thing about the real world. She's worth $53 million at 24 years old. She has been a millionaire for probably the last. Hell, I think she was like 17 years old whenever her stuff started kind of blowing up. She has never.
I was so smart at 17.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
I had a great grasp of like, the entire world, geopolitical issues, the entire history of our nation. Like, I mean, I had it all.
Well, if you
I knew everything.
Yeah, you should, especially if
you're
a
more
celebrity.
than I know now, I think.
Yep, like Greta Thunberg, man. I mean, she was an environmental genius at like 12.
Yeah.
But what just kills me, it's like you got these celebrities, dude. They don't live in reality. She can go on there and she can make these.
Ricky Gervais or whatever.
Oh yeah, where he just eviscerates.
That
something.
Couldn't have been more spot on.
Yeah.
I think he said Greta Thunberg spent more time in school than most of you guys.
He did.
Like, y'all get up here and everybody's probably seen the famous rant where he's like, every single one of you would, if the Taliban had a series on or had a new streaming service and offered you the most money, you would sign up for it tomorrow. Y'all don't give a shit about any of these issues. It's prudent to keep you in the loop with all the Hollywood, whatever entertainment circles to take these extremely liberal, bleeding heart positions that make no sense. Yep.
Oh yeah. He just absolutely destroys them. And I love it, man. Cause again, like I said, it is super, it's just true as hell. Like that's what's so frustrating is, but
then you saw, Jelly Roll, is that his name?
Yeah. His was really good.
Yeah. He got up there and he literally preached.
And did you see where some people are now raising hell because he cussed apparently when he was doing that?
No,
I don't know if he said damn or what, but he said some cuss word in there. And he had this great story of, he sharing his faith.
Talks about Jesus, like Jesus doesn't belong to a political party, and just went on and on. And he has a really, great backstory. I mean, that he was in prison.
He's,
and just he's come out of it, and now he's,
yay.
no, his wife was there with him. No, I mean, I don't know what he's worth. I mean, money doesn't matter as much as a lot of other things, but incredibly famous, incredibly wealthy, like got the world in the palm of his hand, and he literally gives every ounce of credit to his faith in Jesus.
Chris Pratt. That's like why I like Chris Pratt so much. He's very much the same way, man. He's very open about it. And I actually appreciate those guys. I'm gonna tell you another weird thing. Not weird, but all right, we cuss on this show. We say inappropriate things sometimes.
Well, no. And I would even disagree with that. Inappropriate. Like, what's inappropriate depends on.
Well, that's true. It's very true.
The audience, the environment, and I mean that's what we are right here. I mean,
that's true.
I always say, like, if I talk in a certain way, like in the grocery store with a nice, 80-year-old lady next to me, okay, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Then what is appropriate in that setting is completely different from what is appropriate.
It's very true.
When I'm sitting on the tailgate having a beer at the end of the day, which is again kind of the atmosphere we're going for right here with a bunch of dudes. When I'm in the duck blind, and my son's not there with me. Yeah. And sometimes I use bad language when he's there, and that's on me. But you know what I mean? Like what is appropriate or inappropriate in one setting is maybe completely appropriate or
it's very true.
Acceptable in another setting.
It's very true. But but just the fact of the matter is any person that's honest with themselves, like I know a lot of very strong Christians, and I've been around a lot of very strong Christians, and I've heard them say cuss words. And I remember like that's just authentic. It's just real. It's just being a real human being. And I don't get hung up on cuss words. I honestly don't get hung up on words. Like I'm like, man, I let your actions speak louder than your words. If
somebody's using really harsh language in certain settings.
If someone's around my kids. I'll be
misogynistic, like around women, typically, but definitely around kids. I use different language, like at the vet clinic when I'm talking to a client than I do sitting here.
Yeah.
Or drinking beers with a bunch of buddies, around a campfire or something. It's totally different.
I gotta, speaking of that, my son, he used to call chips. He had a funny name for chips. And you tell me what you think this sounds like. Marcy stumbled upon this video yesterday. I'm gonna play this. Let's see, is it linked up on here? What is this? Yeah. All right. What is this? So I'm holding up a chip to him, and you tell me what he thinks he's calling this chip. What is this? What is this? Hold on. No, what is this? Bitch. What is it? Bitch. Say bye-bye to it. Say bye-bye to it. Tell the chip bye-bye.
Bye-bye, bitch. Bye-bye, bitch. Well, that's a word that I've taught my kids, like, that's not a bad word. Like, being a veterinarian, like, that is a very appropriate term to use.
Oh, yeah.
When referring, especially to an intact female dog.
Yeah.
Now, again, because it's been so misused, in, everyday, conversation, pop culture, whatever, I don't typically walk into a room and talk to a person about their bitch.
Yeah, like, so what's going on with your bitch today?
But we have some clients, especially like dog breeders. They refer to.
They'd be like, I just can't get this bitch to do right.
Well, and they're meaning it just like, if I was saying, I can't get this cow to breed back. You're like bitch is to a dog, as cow is to a bovine.
So now actually that changes how I look at the scene in Road Trip.
Road Trip. Okay. Road Trip.
I'm
trying to think which scene. I've seen that movie many times.
Oh yeah, because that's like your dad's favorite movie.
It was at one time.
Your dad is actually the one that showed me Road Trip when I was probably like 14 years old. When they go to Tom Green's grandparents' house and his grandpa is smoking weed out there on the front porch.
I vaguely remember that part.
And the dog is sitting out there with him and he smokes weed. And then he looks at the dog and the dog goes, have that bitch make me some pancakes.
Oh, man.
So
you do get to see some titties in that movie, don't you?
you do, yeah, I do, yeah,
that
you
one
definitely do.
blonde chick.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely, because shit, like I said, I was I may have been younger than that. I might have been like 12. And your dad was like, this is a great movie. You got to watch this movie.
I'll look up, see what year it came out.
It was like Christmas or something. I think actually we got that movie for him for like his birthday or for Christmas.
It was like in that era when there was all those movies that were all kind
Like
of
American Pie, Road Trip, all those. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the spoof movie that made fun of like kind of all
Scary
of
movie.
Scary
Man,
movie.
those are awesome. I love those.
Yeah, Road Trip came out in 2000.
All right, then so I would have been about 9 or 10.
When it first came out.
Yeah.
It may have been a year or two
I was
later.
say, so we bought it for him on DVD. I was probably 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, yeah, man, Road Trip is awesome.
Tom Green is hilarious.
He is. But, no, I mean, man, I just get tired of the celebrities that are like, so don't know anything about reality. Yeah, she can get on there and she can bitch about, freedom, stolen land. And she lives in a damn house with a 10-foot tall gate all the way around her compound. She has security everywhere. She probably never even drives her own vehicle. Like, shut up.
And like, as I sit here and think about that, like, I'm literally old enough to be her dad.
Yeah.
And she's certainly, I'm sure, she's a celebrity. She's more well-traveled. She's probably traveled the world. I have a lot more, at least time in terms of experience on this planet. And I don't feel like I know a damn thing most days.
Yeah, same.
And when I sit here and look like, just don't imagine one of my kids wanting to preach to me about something like that. Like, and again, she's a lot older than my kids because I didn't have kids till I was a little older, but like I could be her dad and like, she's sitting here like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
and
I know every parent goes to that where, my daughter's almost 12. So she's kind of getting to that point where she's starting to act like,
she's too cool for you.
Yeah, dad's dumb. He doesn't know anything, kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay. This is going to be a great next, few years to go through this. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just
an angry old man now.
Yeah, well, I'm right there behind you. I mean, well, you're too old for this shit.
Yeah, that's right.
You're too old for this shit. What's his name? Murtaugh. What's the other one? Riggs?
Yeah, Riggs.
All right, I got a few of our hot topics right now.
Hey, yeah, your commodity prices all jumped up today. What? China agreed to buy a bunch more soybeans.
I talked to our buddy Lee yesterday, and that's what he told me that
beans and corn were both up today. Cattle were down.
Yeah,
cattle were up big earlier this week. Cattle, it's a damn. You just don't even need to look at it every day.
Well, see, honestly, I haven't looked at the commodity prices today.
Okay.
But Lee told me last night. I talked to him last night, and he was like, "Man, prices are up.
They'll probably be down tomorrow.
Probably.
They were up today.
I didn't even look. Friday. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't drop or fall. But speaking of that, farm income is falling.
Okay. According to what metric or what?
The USDA.
Okay.
The USDA has a net farm. Hold on.
Okay. So this is more like a long-term study, like farming.
Yeah. Well, I think this is for this coming year.
Yeah. Well, I was like, that's like not really a news flash.
Yeah. Where is that shit?
I mean, again, anything, cattle have been really good, which I still go back to on cattle, though. It's like we're just finally now to where prices should be. Our inputs are way up, just like everything else. And
well, that's what
the fact that we're making a little money shouldn't be reason to celebrate. It should be just like, well, yeah, I mean, we're working our asses off. Of course, we should be making a little money.
Yeah. Well, so the USDA, for 2026 farm income projections, they are projecting about $153 billion in 2026, which is 0.7% down from 2025.
Total agriculture, in the country as a whole.
Yeah. When adjusted for inflation, that drop deepens to about 4.1 billion, which is a negative 2.6%, which is that's pretty bad in like total, because those numbers they shouldn't swing. Government payments are forecasted at $44.3 billion, which is going to make up nearly 29% of the farm income in 2026.
It's going to be government handouts.
Going to be government handout, and that's what
that's not sustainable.
No, and that's what it's saying. It says here, because again, like I said, guys, I got for my people watching, I got my fancy notes because still don't have internet out here yet. If you exclude government support entirely, then the net farm income would drop over 12%. So if you cut that out, that's about $109 billion that drop. Like it says, farmers are increasingly reliant on that support. So what this means is farmers are producing a ton of crops, but crop prices and global demand are not strong enough to push real profits. The sector is increasingly dependent on federal payments just to stay afloat, and direct government support is masking the deeper weakness in market-driven income. I mean, the problem is we're just growing stuff that nobody wants. And I say that as a guy that's growing corn and soybeans. Like there's just, we got too much. We don't, you talk about China. China is still, these countries, they don't want to buy from us. Like China does not want to buy from the United States. They just hate the United States. I don't want to say these countries. There's plenty of countries that do want to buy from the United States. But China, they want to hurt the United States. And so they are doing everything they can to buy from Brazil. Brazil is the number one exporter of soybeans in the world. And like they have surpassed the United States. That's the game changer. That's where, man, I've said this on the show many times. I feel like I keep beating the same drum. But man, guys, and I'm saying this to myself as much as I am to all of you. Look, it's February 5th when we're recording this episode. There is still time to like change your game plan for 2026. I am still scheming up my game plan for 2026 because, man, I talked to a buddy of mine tonight. He farms, like everything he runs is paid for, and he still took an ass kicking the last 2 years. Yeah. And so it's like, man, you can only cut so much before. Like you just can't cut enough to where it's like really, at what point do we say the juice ain't worth the squeeze? And again, I'm saying that to myself too, because guys, my row crop is my bread and butter. That's what I do. But it's like, shit, we gotta do something that's going to make some damn money.
We've either got to find new markets, have markets that were there before that have gone away, come back, or we just need to grow a whole lot less. I mean, that's me from kind of the outside looking in on that side of things, just supply and demand. Like we need more demand or we need less supply. Otherwise, I don't know how, I think it'd be crazy otherwise to expect it to get better. I mean, as long as there's a surplus of grains, there's no, and there's no, you're just, that's a losing battle.
It is. Yeah, it is, man. I mean, and there's people that, are on the other side that are kind of like, that don't love the farmers, that like to hate on the farmers. Some of them are like, see, we need to lose some of these guys. And the reality of it is, look, what our prices, if suddenly 30 to 40% of farmers did go broke and got out, the markets would get better because the oversupply would get better. It would stabilize and you'd have more consistent grain prices. But I can tell you what else would happen.
That's assuming a lot of those acres
remained out. Yeah.
Now a certain, I would say a good chunk of them are going to get sopped up by the big guys.
Yeah.
The big will get bigger.
But let's assume they did stay out. If they stayed out, it might stabilize the markets for farmers, but it's going to jack the prices up for the consumer.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
You can't have it both ways. Right. Yeah. If prices get better for the farmer, well, that's because
the consumer's paying more.
I mean, either a lot of it's leaving the country and where that money is coming from outside of the U.S. or here domestically. If we got to where supplies were so tight that, say we didn't rely on exports at all.
Yeah.
It was all just domestically used. Well, that's, you'd have to say, obviously, price is going to go up. And I don't know that people are going to love that because, we've talked about it. It goes a lot further beyond just a grocery store.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fuel. It's a lot of medications. It's other consumer goods that are, made, as byproducts or whatever from a lot of these, major commodity, grains.
Yeah, man. I mean, what is I think the people that like to hate on the guys and say that, I mean, that's what I always just say, they're just not in reality because they don't understand that. Yeah. If guys get out and that is the thing, like it's really a no-win situation because if guys get out and the ground lays out, I mean, I guess, it's going to be good for the guys that stay in because like I said, it should bump their prices up. But assuming the ground doesn't lay out, which me and you both know, there might be some crappy ground that does, but there's going to be any farms that are halfway decent. It's just going to get gobbled up. And so instead of having 30 farmers working a vast range of ground here, you're going to end up with areas that are going to have 5. Yeah. And they're going to be just massive operations. And like the cool little family farm operations that everybody loves and kind of like the American vision of farms, they're going to totally change. Like that's going to be no more.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem that we're going to run into. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do.
Yeah. I mean, part of you wonders, are we just inevitably headed towards that?
Yeah.
As much as I think, a lot of us, kind of are, certainly the way we were raised here in a small town, that is, agriculture is big part of the economy. And, you're kind of, at least my 42-year-old, vision or view of a farmer is, the house, on the hill, maybe they don't have cattle, but, probably the idealistic view I have is, they got the big red barn out back, got, some cows in the pasture beside the house. They got the tractor, the combine parked in the equipment shed out back beside the red barn, maybe a grain bin or two. And, it's a husband and a wife and a couple of kids running around and, they've got a few hired hands and that's what agriculture is. They work, whatever, 5,000 acres, or less. I mean, that would still be pretty big.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come to, and some of these big like corporate farms, corporate word loves to be thrown around. Yeah.
Hey, you keep talking about that. I got to jump up here. I didn't reset that card.
Okay.
Keep going.
It may still be a family owned farm, but they're working 10, 20, 30,000 acres. They've got 40 employees and yeah, it's still, family owned and I respect that. And I don't hate on anybody for being super successful and getting to that point, but it's certainly not that view of Americana that we kind of grow up with, when we're thinking about agriculture and farmland in this country. And, I don't know, we talk about it all the time, what 1.5%, 2% of us are actually on the farm. That other 98%, some of them would probably hate to see that, it's like, oh man, that's a part of America, kind of dying off. Whereas others be like, man, well, as long as there's, food at the grocery store when I get there and it doesn't cost too much, I don't care if it's grown by, just a handful of super mega operators or a whole bunch of smaller independent, farmers.
I would like to know how many people in the population care about that. Because me and you, like you said, that we grew up in the farm world. We grew up in that world. So we grew up, even today, like by, in our area standards, like dad's working, well, I'm not going to say how many, he might get mad at me if I say how many acres, but it's less than 5,000 acres.
Yeah.
And so in our area, he's an average to smaller size operation. And I'm a smaller size operation here. Together, we're about normal for our area, but it's like, man, I like seeing that, no offense, versus like a 30,000 acre operation. I'd rather see a bunch of 1,500 acre operations.
Yeah. Just we can do easy math here. I'd rather see 20 1,500 acre operators than, what would that be? One.
Shit, don't ask me what 20 times, what's 20 times 1,500? Why didn't you do 1,000 acres to make it a little easier?
I was going to do 10 3,000 acre operators is better than one 30,000 acre operator.
Well, there you go.
So I'd rather have 20 1,500 acre operators than one 30,000 operator.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same way like with the meat packers, that we've gotten where these meat packing plants are just massive, and they're owned by one of the big 4 meat packers, and they process 5,000 head a day at this. I was like, no, I'd rather there be, 10, 500 head a day processing facilities than 5,000.
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot. It's not as efficient. That's the reason why everything has shifted more and more and more towards bigger. We run 3 shifts a day. None of them speak English. We're all under one roof, whatever. Versus having a bunch of smaller ones, but a bunch of individual smaller ones is a lot more resilient. When you run into issues and whatnot, you have a fire at a plant, which is a very real thing that happens more often than you would think. And all of a sudden that 5,000 acre or 5,000 head a day plant is shut down, for 6 months to be rebuilt. Where, again, if you had 10, 500 head a day facilities and one of them has a fire, that's still unfortunate, tragic, but the other 9 keep on going, and it's not that big of a deal. And they can probably pick up the slack.
Well, you hit a key word that's actually been on my mind. I did a YouTube video on my LH Farms channel the other day.
I got to watch it. Your first one in like a year.
Yeah, it's very specific. I did this thing called Ag Tactics on there, and I'm like going really specific on row crop. And I did a breakdown of how much equipment actually costs you per acre and what are you actually paying per acre. Because, our buddy we had on the show here, and I don't remember if he said it on air. I think he did, but he said operators that are the most profitable tend to have their equipment cost in that $50 an acre range.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what does that really look like? And, last few years, I've not even been close to that. I've been way over that. This year right now, I'm getting pretty damn close. Like I have been culling shit. I've paid off some things, but I've also culled that sprayer, still working on some stuff. If I can get rid of 2 pieces that I want to get rid of, I'll actually be sitting at like $52 an acre, which is like.
So you sold your sprayer?
I did.
Is that pretty recent?
No, that's been a while. It's been a few months ago.
I know we talked in detail about the Traco incident.
Yeah. No, and this was the sprayer was it was like a nice, easy deal. No, it didn't have to deal with that.
You didn't have to fill
bastard.
It up with fuel before he.
No.
Throw in a case of glyphosate.
Yeah, I should have pissed in the fuel tank on that Traco. But man, so there's 2 phrases, and I've said this myself. The first one is you either pay a note or you pay a repair bill. And it's very true, except here lately, I've been paying a note and a repair bill.
Well, and when you figure in those equipment costs per acre, do your repairs have to go into that too?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
I assume they would. I mean, that would only make sense.
A true equipment cost per acre is depreciation. It's your actual note. It's your interest. Your note, if you don't break it down principal interest, then it's your total note. It's your depreciation. It's your fuel breakdown that you spend per acre, and how many years you plan to run the machine. I got my whole notepad because I don't want to tell any wrong math. It's over on that other table, I think. But basically, what I figured out was, nothing is free on the farm, even if it's paid for. Like if you have equipment that's paid off, you still are paying for it by the acre in your fuel, your repairs, your running, like oil, not just repairs, but maintenance. That's the word I'm looking for. Now, what I did figure out was, because I was kind of like, well, at some point, you're going to spend so much in repairs that it's going to cost you more than if you just bought a newer piece of equipment. I'm going to tell you right now, you got to spend a fuck ton in repairs to outdo it. Because I ran a few scenarios and I was like, shit, this ain't even damn close.
Yeah.
Like even spending 15, I figured, I was like, man, if I had some just clapped out combine and I spend 15 grand a year on that combine and repairs, plus the fuel and all that other stuff, versus paying like a $30,000 note on a combine. Dude, it was not even comparable to the cost.
Which on the flip side of that, obviously your breakdowns a lot of times don't happen at opportune times. And so it can certainly affect your efficiency.
All right. And see, that was the other word.
Just to play kind of devil's advocate there, is some people would argue, well, yeah, I'm paying a $30,000 note. You're paying $15,000 in repairs, but you're paying that $15,000 in repair. You're paying half as much as me, but you're also going to have a lot of downtime because a lot of those repairs might happen right in the middle of harvest, where I'm paying $30,000, but we're hammering down. All I got to do is mail that check in, and I'm rolling on. You're having to mail that half as big a check in for repairs, but you're also sitting there dead in the water for maybe days at a time.
So I've thought the same thing. Like I was thinking, I've thought the same thing. I'm like, well, yeah, but see, I get to keep running, because I'd had those times where my combine, like that 9760 I had, first combine I ever had, man, thing was broke down for 4 days one time. And I was like, damn it, man. And then it
but 4 days didn't cost you $15,000, did it?
No. And seeing a rain was coming. So then I was like, shit. So it put me back. I missed the window. But let me tell you something. After the rain stopped, I got in there and I got the beans out.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you had incredible
that's what I was going to say.
Quality loss.
It was not a drastic change. And that's what I had a conversation on Instagram with the same buddy that wrote about the episode. I told him, I said, man, I think in a lot of ways we've actually hurt ourselves in the name of efficiency, because I have always maintained I need to have enough equipment that if I got a phone call and someone's like, man, I got 500 acres, I want you to work, then I'm like ready. Like my equipment would work for an additional 500 acre increase. And a lot of farmers operate in that way where it's like, well, I'm just prepared in case I were to pick up some ground. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And again, I said this thing, but that's a dumbass way to be, because
and for the longest time, like picking up a lot of extra ground was you had to pounce on that. And I don't know, I feel like today, and some people might say, well, it helps me spread out my costs, but also look at the last couple of years again, every acre you pick up is just more money you're losing.
It is.
You would think it may be getting to the point where people are like, yeah, I'm not looking to pick up any extra ground. In fact, I'm looking to shed some less productive ground.
And that's kind of the case, I feel like today. But man, I think we actually we, as in me and a lot of others, we put too much emphasis on efficiency. Look, you can still, beans and crops have come to a place where a lot of beans, man, they can even still, you want to get beans out pretty quick because you just don't want them to deteriorate. If you get into like one of those wet, we've had those nightmare years. And that's why a lot of guys, it's like, I want to get this crop in and out as fast as possible, because we've had those nightmares where we're still cutting beans in January.
And I feel like a lot of people, that's a good excuse or a good way to justify buying a new machine.
Yeah.
Just look, everybody loves new paint. I don't care who you are. Maybe there's some super, shrewd bastard out there that just, man, it just kills him to have to buy something new. But
yeah.
Like I've never once gotten a new piece of machinery and gotten on it, and it may have been painful to kind of finally pull the trigger and not just been just giddy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Got that new tractor smell. Even if it's just new to you.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hell yeah. Let's go farm. I'm just going to go, it's too wet to do anything today, but we're going to go do something.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
I'm totally that way. Like that.
So yeah, I just think a lot of people use that as an excuse. Be like, well, we needed it to be more efficient.
Yep.
We couldn't do without it. It made no sense for us not to go ahead and get a new one. And they kind of try to justify that to themselves.
And those guys, if you were to sit down and if you were to do a per acre equipment cost on all the equipment, I bet you some of those guys, I would say they're in the $130, $150 an acre range.
Well, and a lot of people, especially people that aren't very shrewd, and maybe people that aren't even in ag that just enjoy farming, they drive by and you get a little like, damn, look at that. Like,
Oh yeah,
like, man, like that's a BTO. Like,
oh
like,
yeah,
look at all that shiny new green or red or whatever color equipment out there. Like that guy's got it going.
oh yeah, man. I mean, and there's a lot of keeping
up to his eyeballs.
He is, man. Like the old commercial, man. He's on the lawnmower. He's in debt up to his eyeballs. Dude, that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses in agriculture, and like my buddy that works, he works similar acres to me, and again, like I said, all his stuff's paid for. Now he harvests a hell of a lot slower, and he plants a hell of a lot slower, but he still grows really good crops, and he still. Hell, I would probably say if you looked at his cash flow projection, it's probably a hell of a lot stronger than mine. And now he'll bitch to me. He'll be like, man, all my shit's so wore out. Like, it's just all pieces of shit. He's like, I need something new. But he's like, hell, I just don't want to spend it. And he's having to work on it. But like I said, man, our friend, the Griggs, hell, their combine, I don't know. I've seen Matt talk about it. Now they have breakdowns all the time.
Well,
but
he did a video breaking it down pretty much. I think he was specifically talking about people that get irritated that the farmers get handouts and they see all this shiny equipment, which Matt and them, they do a really good job taking care of their equipment.
Oh, they go above and beyond.
Like they detail everything at the end of the season. Like I would be embarrassed to even have him out to see my tractors, because I think mine are like in pretty decent shape. Like shit, mine. Like he would have a stroke if he saw the inside of my tractor that I feed hay with. Now, see,
I pressure wash my combine. Combine's one piece of equipment. I'm gonna pressure wash that bad boy.
He had Andy in the tractor, like they're taking the damn thing apart just to detail it, and then they're doing maintenance. But he was just going through things like, this tractor has this many hours on it. That'd be equivalent to a car having 180,000 miles.
Yeah, and I think he was actually being conservative, if I remember that.
Well, he's like, this combine is. I don't remember how old, but he's like, it's 12 years old. Yes, looks shiny and bright and new, and we've taken good care of it, but it's got so many hours on it. Yeah, it's like having a car that has 200. And I was like, that is pretty good to put it in those numbers, because a lot of people look at that like, man, a car with 200,000 miles. Damn. I mean, and plenty of people run a car a lot longer than that, but like a lot of people are like, they see that machine and they're thinking, that thing's brand new.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
Yeah. No, when I had the real news guys out, like that tractor I got over here, you talk about being giddy, man. I was that way. Like I remember when the first R series John Deere came out, they had the headlights. They got the LED headlights that come back and they come up to like a point and they look kind of like almost like some wicked ass animal eyes or something. I remember when those came out, man. I was up at Tennessee Tractor and I saw one of the first R series tractors, and I was like, damn, those are some badass tractors. And I just remember looking at one. I was like, shit, I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford one of them things. And then I traded my 8420 in on that 8285 R. And, oh, man, I was so stoked driving that thing. I still love that tractor. Like, I just think it's a sick-looking tractor. Hell, it's got a lot of hours. It's a high-hours tractor. But, like, planting in it and stuff, like, man, I just tickled. I'm like, man, that's R series. But, and there you go, John Deere. See, I was bitching about you earlier. I'm giving you kudos. I love driving the tractor. But it's like, man, that tractor is 14 years old. Yeah. And I asked some of the real news guys when they came out, I was like, how old do you guys think that tractor is? And one of them, he was like, well, since you're asking that question, it must be older than I would think. Like he started like breaking it down. I'm like, all right, damn it, Sherlock. I'm just like, if you just saw it, what would you think? And one of them was like, I'm going to say 4 years old. And, like that was kind of the consensus. One of them was like, it's got to be old since you're asking. I'm going to say 15 years old. But like a couple of them were like, I'm going to say it's probably 4 years old. Yeah. I'm like, that tractor's, it's 13, 14 years old. Like,
and I would say like the average Joe driving down the road thinks it's brand new.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause it's shiny.
Like it's no more than 2 years old. Like they just the average, person who has no clue and doesn't really care a lot of times, but they look at that and they're thinking, man, yeah, he's driving brand new equipment.
Oh yeah. They'd see that tractor and they'd be like, that guy's he's got a $500,000 tractor.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I didn't pay nowhere near that for it. But I mean, I did challenge in that video. I think we've got to drastically cut. I think, the only way we just got to get ruthless is what I said. It's got to be ruthless cutting. If we're going to stay in the game, I still believe like something's got to change though, man. Like we got to have, they are pushing for the E15. Trump is on board with the E15.
Well, it was Congress that dropped the ball there, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Cause that's the one where the Iowa corn growers, like I said, they're probably going to go put bombs on their cars.
And like the,
or the National Corn Growers Association.
NCGA, yeah. The whole supply demand thing, like if farmers do start to really recognize that, and I guess it's happened to some extent, because I know Deere, is, even though they made incredible profits last year, that they're down.
Yeah.
And so if all of a sudden there was a lot less demand, and again, I think there has been, because I've heard about it from some local dealers and whatnot for their product, at what point do they start saying, okay, maybe we built these tractors up to where they literally, it has a massaging seat in it. Like it has a built-in refrigerator inside it, and
I don't hate on my refrigerator.
I don't even
It keeps my beer cool in the combine.
Well, and I've never even, I think I've been in your combine, but like I sit here and I say this, and I know nothing about any of that. My poor little, 100-horse Kubota,
No refrigerator?
No.
Man, I'll tell you.
I mean, I can put a little cooler in there with me if I wanted to.
That refrigerator's balling in my 680.
So you got one of them.
I do. The 680, my combine has one.
At what point they say, you know what? There's not a lot of demand for these X9 combines. I know yours not, but like that's kind of, these $1.2 million or whatever it is combines, maybe we've overdone it a little bit. Maybe we need to scale this back, make these things where they're a tool. They're not, it's not a luxury vehicle out there in a crop field,
My 84.
Those might have been okay when we had $14 beans and $7 corn. But in today's ag economy, we probably don't need $1.2 million machines.
Well, my 8420 tractor that I had before, that was a 2004 model. And I used to keep beer cold in it. And I took a little igloo cooler, and I would just stick me a 6-pack in there and put some ice on it. If I was going to plant late at night, that was always one of my favorite things to do. I'd go in, I'd eat dinner with the family. Then I'd go back out, and on the way out, I would fix me I'd usually put like 3 beers in there, and I'd put them on ice, because I'm like, I'm going to be out there for probably, 4 or 5 more hours. I'm going to plant till about midnight, and I would just, every now and then I'd crack me open a cold beer and just be planting out there in the middle of nowhere. And again, I had ice cold beer in that little igloo cooler. So I'm with you, man. Like they could take that shit out. Guys have been taking coolers to the tractor forever. I don't need a refrigerator. That 8R 340 that Dad and them had leased, that thing literally massaged your ass. I think I said on here, like
the seat, no lie, had like a setting where it would like massage.
It literally massaged your back and your ass. It was heated, and it was, and I think it was cooled. But it would actually massage your ass and your back. And I mean, hell, I ran the shit out of it. Like when I was in there, I was like, well, hell, I'm in here. I'm going to get my ass massaged. And, like it would do all that. And so that's when my dad was joking. He's like, hell, you need to buy that tractor. And I said, how much is it? And it was like, used, I think it was $470,000 or something. And I was like, shit, I need to buy 2 of them. I mean, man, just get back. Like we said in I think it was the last episode or whatever, when we were talking about Case, at one time, Case H, that was the cheap muscle. Hell, that's gone, man. There ain't no cheap muscle no more. I wish that some billionaire would listen to this show and he'd be like, by God, there is a market for some cheap muscle in agriculture.
Yeah. Put heat and air in it. Like you can't, like, you need a cab, like you don't want to choke on dust when you're out there just plowing the ground.
Heat, air, radio, a capable hydraulic system, and plenty of horsepower. And just, man, that's shit. Strap a seat in that son of a bitch that's like, just an air ride seat. That ain't even nothing anymore. Put your little air ride seat in that bastard and let's rock and roll. Like, hell, I don't need all this shit in there. And you don't even have to have a fancy radio. STM radio, man. They make a little.
Well, that's what I was even saying. Like, we don't even need hell, you can put like I just had to put a new radio on my Jeep. It was like $40.
Yeah.
Like you can put a radio on there for nothing.
That's what I'm saying, man. You put and it just put like a little AM, FM, Bluetooth. Shit. I mean, that's all you got to put in there. Like, I ran that scenario in my phone. I created a tractor one time. I was like, man, if I had the money, I called it like the Disruptor brand. And I was like, man, but you got to be rich as hell to build one. Like,
oh yeah,
it's to start. But I'm like, man, you could throw like a C13 Caterpillar motor in this thing, get a reman motor so you could get the motors for relatively cheap. Like I kind of ran through a list of parts for this tractor and I was like, you could build a tractor. What I penciled out, you could build a horsepower, like a stout ass tractor for like $95,000. And I'm like, man, you got to mark it up a little bit. You got to pay. But I'm like, you could sell a brand new tractor for like 120, 130 grand.
Well, and I feel like, a lot of those companies, and then they probably all fall victim to it. Then they're like, well, we're like a third of the price of a Deere, a quarter, at those numbers, we could start to dress it up a little bit.
Yeah. We can bump it up to just 185, 200,000.
It would be, if you're talking about Ford pickups, it would be the XL model pickup.
Yep.
That's, which my brother, I don't know that he's even getting ready to buy a truck, but since he had that wreck we talked about last week, we were looking, I'm like, my God, it's amazing. Like with an F-250. And again, there's a billion different options and whatnot you can work out. You can spend anywhere from $40,000 to $110,000 on one. Now, the $40,000 model is the XL, trimmed all the way down, like extended cab, not even 4-door.
It's probably gas burner.
Yeah. But like it's capable of towing, pretty much the same thing as that.
Yeah, is that the 7.3 gas burner? The big one? Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard good things about that motor.
I've heard some mixed reviews. The kind of consensus I've gotten is they worked out some of the kinks.
Is that the Godzilla or something they call it?
I don't know, but it's a 7.3, and of course, most people hear 7.3 Ford. They think
the old Power Stroke.
The
Big Dick Johnson, I think is the name of that motor.
Is what they call the 7.3 gas burner.
Yeah.
Did you make that up?
No, it's something. Look it up.
It sounds.
Just legit. Google Big Dick Johnson. It'll pull it up.
Big Dick Johnson.
That's like, did I send you the meme about Gary Oldman?
I don't know that you did.
Where it says, you never are more careful Googling something or typing into Google.
Oh, I did see that. But
Gary Oldman, you make sure you put that R.
You did, yeah. Yeah. If you leave out the R, it's gay old man.
Gay old man. You don't want to Google that.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's like Godzilla or something is what they call it.
Anyway, it's wild. It's like, it's still an F-250, but how much variation, one is nearly 3 times as expensive as the other.
Yeah.
And it's, again, basic capabilities, still 4-wheel drive. That's like one thing.
Did it total his truck?
No.
Okay.
No,
gotcha.
but his truck's got some miles on it. He was already like, I'm probably going to buy another pickup this year anyway. Kind of thing. And I don't know if he'll buy a Ford.
Surely he hadn't turned gay.
Well, his wife drives an Expedition.
Man, he's halfway there.
I was going to say I don't know that he's ever owned a Ford, but I was like, well, no, actually, his wife drives a Ford now.
But he's never driven a Ford. Drew's never been a Ford man.
Well, he drives that Expedition sometimes.
Yeah, but that's his woman's car.
Yeah.
I'll cut him a little slack there.
I'm trying to think. He's always driven a GM.
Yeah. Man, I mean, everything's just stupid. I mean, but the problem is, and we've said this on the farmers, and I'll say this even about people driving around, dumbasses pay it. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why would they?
Supply and demand. The only reason they're making an X9 Combine is because they knew people would buy it.
Yep. I mean, the car dealers, from their perspective, it's like, well, if some bitches are going to pay it, we ought to charge it.
I guarantee you tomorrow, if I drive around here in our tiny little small town, I will see a Platinum F-250 somewhere.
Yeah.
That is, practically brand new.
There's
somebody driving around in $100,000 and some odd $1,000
paying a $1,200 or $1,400 car note.
I don't even know what that would work out to be, but I would imagine it's more than that.
It probably is, yeah. Because you're
depending on how far out they financed it, whatnot. But
I think you can do 10 years now, can't you?
Well, shit, you're gonna be so upside down in that thing, like right away.
See, I'm way out of the loop because I haven't had my truck's been paid for like 4 years.
You saw what I pull up in. I'm driving a Jeep that, hell, I know people that I could buy 10 of those Jeeps for what some people pay for a side-by-side.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
And that is not an exaggeration.
Yeah. No, some people rocking $45,000 side-by-sides around here. Yeah. I mean, man, I don't know. I things are just out of whack. I did have a guy write in one of our email. He asked me, how do I figure up cost per acre on my equipment?
Say, I am completely ignorant to that. I guarantee you I don't want to do it across my hay acres.
Well, the best thing I can tell you is go watch that video, because I did it's like a 20 or 30 minute video. I tried to keep it short, but I used scenarios. I did a breakdown of a finance piece of equipment and a paid for piece of equipment, so you can see the difference, and it's a huge ass difference. Just pay cash when you buy something. Yeah. If you can afford it, that's definitely the way to go. But I would just tell you to go check it out. And like I said, it's a series I've thought about doing for a little while, but it's like really, really hyper niche, like super deep focus on row crop and just kind of all those things in there. And so I just put it on my LH Farms page. I was kind of tinkering around out here, but it was before I had these sweet multicams. So you get just one old boring camera angle. But yeah, I don't know, man. I guess we will be next week. I haven't decided. It might be wise and easiest, I don't know, if we record an episode probably next week before we go to the farm show.
I can do that.
Because we're going to be in Kentucky still when I would have to edit this episode and get it posted. And that might be kind of
that's what I was kind of wondering, because we will be, for our audience that will be in Louisville for the National Farm Machinery Show, we will be at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which will be local time there in Louisville, on Wednesday.
Yep.
We will be doing a live show right there in the trade show. What booth will we be at? Acres TV?
Acres TV or AgCo booth. Yeah. Is it called the Ag Revolution booth or something?
Buddy, I will be able to tell you about 2:00 next Wednesday. Yeah. You know, we're both rolling in town on Wednesday. I don't know, trying to make some more travel arrangements without my brother killing me for depending on how much time I'm away. But yeah, we will be there. If you're going to be there on Wednesday, please come by and see us. While we're doing a live show, I mean, I don't know. Not that we're inflating what we think of ourselves, but, kind of like up there on stage, if someone wants to like throw a bra at us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're there for it.
That would be awesome.
Our wives will both be there. So, neither one of our wives are big old gals, but they're both pretty scrappy. So, keep it a little bit tasteful, but I feel like that would kind of fit our brand.
Yeah, if we got like flashed a bunch, like we were like like Nickelback, there was some video of Nickelback doing a concert and it was just constant flashing. And I was like, man, those guys, they really had it going on back then.
Yeah.
That would fit our brand, I feel like.
I mean, I will be disgusted by looking at any other than my wives, and I will encourage her not to flash us while we're on stage. But
yeah, we will be there. Like I said, 3:00 on Wednesday. We'll be there. I'll for sure be there through Friday. Bobby Lee is still figuring out his game plan.
I'll be there at the very least till Thursday.
How late on Thursday? Can people catch you on Thursday, or are you going to have to leave?
Probably, as it currently stands, I'm going to have to get out of there about noon on Thursday.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Another basketball game next Thursday night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said
we're working on the undefeated season, man.
Nice.
Tonight we had to sweat a little.
Well, tonight was we were kind of the same way. Yeah, we were kind of the same way.
We ended up winning. I mean, it's 8-under basketball. We ended up winning 12-5. So we kind of got a little separation there at the end. But they're going into the last quarter, which is weird. They play, I guess that wouldn't be quarters. They play 6 periods.
Yeah.
6 5-minute periods with no clock stopping or whatever. It was like we were only up like 8-5 or something. And so I was like, well, if they make one shot, all of a sudden cut it to 8-7, we're going to be over here sweating bullets because we have kind of controlled this entire game, and all of a sudden one shot goes in and we lose.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up we pulled away.
There you go. Well, you want to pull up the man?
The man, our former.
We got your camera died.
Oh, my camera that was getting the special view of me.
It did. It died.
So now
I heard it beep.
Oh, it is. So that was just recent then.
Yeah, it just did it.
Well,
yeah.
we got too much going on for me to be paying attention. I'm like, what do I even look at?
Don't know what to do with your hands.
Yeah. You ain't first, you're last. Sure, the volume's turned up. Yep.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. Let me start off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, mine died too. About the same time.
There we
They're
go.
accurate.
There we go.
They're accurate.
Yeah. The batteries are very consistent.
Yeah.
I guess I would say.
That's why I've got dummy batteries on their way. So I got one.
Good deal.
I do get kind of tickled that we still have to use it. We're literally surrounded by like insanely high tech setup now, and we still got to use just your phone
Well,
to like
I know.
play
I'm like,
into.
why can't we just get him on the board? Dude?
All right, Dobbins Lure.
Okay. They may make all kinds of lures, but
They do. That's it. They got a bunch of different lures. Have you ever used? So for people that are listening, I like to do a little trapping. It's been a little while since I've done any trapping, but in preparation for tonight,
open that up.
yeah, open it up, take you a whiff. Take a whiff.
I'm not.
Oh, come on, man. You got to get a smell of it.
That's a caster lure. So is it for beaver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you a smell. Backbreaker, man. That's like the famous lure. It's not just like horrendous.
Well, remember in chemistry lab, they would teach us to. You didn't just stick your nose right over the beaker.
Dip your mustache in it a little bit.
Yeah, I can get enough of it from here.
Yeah, that's it's beaver caster.
I was actually, talking about just awful smells. At one of the desks at the office, we've got like a little garbage can underneath, and it's one that's got a lid. It's a stupid shit that the state, and just government in general, like our trash cans, the vet clinic have to have a lid on them.
Oh yeah.
Or they have to be covered in some way. They have to either be inside a cabinet or have a lid. So it's one of these cheap ass little trash cans. It's under a desk, like you forget it's even there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was like sitting there, like working on medical records, the most fun thing I do all day, of course. And like I was moving my legs around and I accidentally kicked it, and like the lid must have just like cracked open just barely. And it immediately smelled like we had stuck the carcass of a dead animal in there, which for my clients that know, whenever you leave an animal with us that is deceased, we do handle it. We don't throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
But that's what it smelled like. I was like, oh my God. I was like, is that, because my first thought when I smelled it, I mean, we're in a vet clinic, like sometimes animals,
Shit,
puke, they come in smelling like they're dead, whatever. I was like, so it's not uncommon to like all of a sudden get a quick whiff of an awful smell. And you're like, all right, what is that?
Yeah.
We pride ourselves on not having, that kind of, image or work environment. I'm pretty sure it was my son. I accused him and my brother. They had eaten like one of those tuna snacks.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It must have been like a month earlier, but I remember my son being over there with me one day and he ate one, and may have been like over Christmas break, but that trash can like never gets touched because it's like just under a desk. And I was like, oh my God. But anyway, yeah. I don't know why that just reminded me of like that.
Well,
I just caught that brief whiff and I was like, oh my God.
I've got some. Dobbins makes all kinds of different lures. Now
I did a little trapping for a little while and I realized real quickly I'm not very good at it, but I've got a box of different lures, and some of it, like for like coyotes and whatnot, I mean, it is rank.
Oh, well, they got a bobcat one that's pretty damn foul. And see, they're made, in North Carolina. You can get them. I get fish, or not fish, but fur, F&T is where I get a lot of my stuff. And they got all the Dobbins lures. Their stuff is good. Backbreaker, like I said, specifically for beavers, which, I mean, it's a very heavy caster lure is literally what it says on there. It smells like straight up caster. But the bobcat one, some of those, they smell bad. And that's the best. One of my favorite things about having kids is, especially Levi, like my son, I'll be like, dude, you owe me a courtesy sniff. And he'll be like, what? And I'll crack it open, get him to smell some of these. And like I said, this one's very tame compared to some of them. And he'll be like, ah, because he like, he's just a typical kid. He'll just like bury his nose to smell it. And like I have like a half a gallon of just straight coyote urine that's like a couple of years old.
Well,
and
something about being like a dude, like when we know something stinks, like it was like me whenever I took that trash out there. I was like, here, y'all smell this. So I walked around like 6 people. It's like, can y'all believe this?
That's what Jeff Foxworthy's got a great
I couldn't just
skit.
get rid of it. You know,
No, you got to get in, and everyone owes you a courtesy sniff. That's what Jeff Foxworthy talks about. That he's like, man, he's like, I don't know what is wrong with dudes. He's like, but he said a guy could be like going into his house, go into his bathroom, and find a gym bag that he forgot about. And he's like, what the heck? He said he unzips it and he's like, oh man, like it's like some underwear and socks from the gym that he's forgotten about a month ago. It could be the worst smell of his life. And he's like, man, hey, Tom, come in here. You got to smell this. And he's like, what? Come in here. And he said, Tom will get up off of the couch, come in there and smell this man's rotten gym bag. And he'll gag. And then he'll be like, Terry, get in here. Like he said, it'll be a whole host of them. He said, men will come to smell the smells that smell terrible. And that is like the thing, like lures.
Well, and I wonder if that goes back to like some, primal instinct. Like you need to investigate things. And I mean, obviously we don't rely on smell nearly as much as other species do, but it's a learning experience.
It is.
Like
it very much is.
I need to smell that, commit that smell to memory, remember, what that is. And that way in the future, you never know where that information could be useful.
I think you're probably right, man. I mean, that's,
I will tell you that a tuna snack that is half eaten, that is thrown in a garbage can and left there for a month,
smells terrible.
Smells really similar to just a dead animal, which I mean, I guess it is dead flesh.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you do any trapping, I will attest to Dobbins Lures. They're really good stuff. Like I said, FNT is where I usually order most of my stuff. Now, backbreaker, I don't use. I like conibears. I don't have to use them a lot. I don't use a lot of backbreaker on a conibear for beavers. But like my leg holds and stuff like that, that's when I use like most of my lures. But if I was going to use a leg hold on a beaver, I'd use the backbreaker from Dobbins because it's good stuff.
A little bit of beaver trapping I ever did was with conibears.
Yeah, 330s.
I don't know, it was the big ones.
Yeah, it'd be a 330 Magnum.
Well, I actually had, in hindsight, I'm surprised I caught as many as I did because I had no idea what I was doing.
Did you? You didn't even treat the traps, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I just bought them and put them out there in the
in
the beaver runs.
Trapping.
I think I was legal the way I was doing them. They were in the water and all. But
trapping's just a cool.
I just caught the hell out of them. But a buddy of ours, former guest Lee, he got to doing a lot of coyote trapping and was pretty successful at it. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get into it. And I just didn't really have much luck and didn't stick with it. And then he came and set some on one of my farms one day, and I watched what he did. And I was like, yeah, I know why I wasn't any good at it, because he was far more meticulous and detailed, which is typical. Like that's Lee. Like he doesn't do anything half-ass, and I was totally half-assing it. I was kind of like, all right, we'll put this out here, put some bait on it. Yeah, surely the guy at a coyote's gonna come along here and smell it and get caught. And like, no.
Oh man, I boiled mine and then I waxed them. Like not my conibears, but I did boil the conibears just to get the oil off of them. But my leg holds, I boiled them with black walnuts the first time. And then when I did them the second time, I actually bought some trap dye and I dyed them. And then as soon as you get done dyeing them, I dunk them and wax them. And I waxed them. And I never set them and didn't even set them. They're still sitting in the pot waxed, but I don't touch them. I never touch them with my hands, because the scent is such a big thing. But they're all waxed. And I think the season... I think it's still going right now. It may close in February. I know
a lot of the small game stuff closes February 28th in February.
I was gonna say, I think it may close. If I was going to do any trapping, I better do it. But guys, check them out. Dobbins Lures, made in USA. If nothing else, you need to buy you a jar of some of just find the one that's like the worst smelling.
Yeah, you might want to prank somebody or something.
I was gonna say, if you don't like somebody, or if you're your best friend, I'd smear a little bit under their seat or something in their truck. Do that. There was one other thing I was going to say. I can't remember what it is now. Guys, we want you to leave us those ratings and reviews. leave us 5 stars, Spotify, Apple, and share this episode with your friends. Guys, we're excited to be going to the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky. Again, please come and find us and let us know what you think of the show. We want to see you all there. We will be there Wednesday. I will be there for sure through Friday. Bobby Lee will be there on some of Thursday and most of Wednesday. So come and find us. We'd love to meet you, shake your hand.
Yes.
And guys, also,
we will sign your baby if you want us to.
We will. What else they need to do?
Y'all check out agzaga.com. They're your online ag retailer. They're my online ag retailer. They're Logan's online ag retailer.
Yes.
Most important thing, fill the shopping cart up, whatever you need. Put some stuff in there you don't need, but maybe you just want it. Maybe you want to try something out. Discount code TALKDIRT20, $20 off, $50 minimum order, and free shipping. Y'all know the drill. Do it.
Do it. All right, guys. We will catch you next week.
Yep. Might even see you in Louisville.
Yep.
You've been listening to Talk Dirt to Me with your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, we ask that you subscribe and leave a review, and we'll catch you next time.